I'm excited. I've been looking forward to a couple of these players. Obviously, you have the known names in the form of Swisher. We got John G. We got, Spongy Shake, Zilla, and Junior as well. Junior especially been looking very good in BNB. And aside of Mythic, right? Some newer names, obviously Flom and Lex, veterans in the scene, but been hearing quite a bit from Mr. Bradley Kohler. I don't know why he's gone with his full name here.
Yeah, just these things happen, I guess. But it's Jojo that's going to be kicking things off. A lot of grenade damage, though, with that fire through the fire and flames. The T's will force their will down on the B site, and the post plant comes in. Still with that player advantage on Mythic. Bad News Bears quickly rotating through on middle side and picking up the first kill in this re-engage. It comes to the hands of John G as Sluggy is put down with authority. With that kill, it affords them the luxury of pushing 2 players up on the catwalk, and they're already getting up very close on these Mythic players. Good hold from Lex, and a second from Lex. He clotheslined John G away. Junior now has to try and pick up the slack, pick up the mantle, as Spongy is playing a dangerous duel to the death, but now he is last man standing. He may very well get the frags, but the time is going to be too scarce anyway, and Mythic make the most of catching that B defender off guard.
I like that. Just fast and furious coming out from Mythic, right? Wasting no time, just charging in, and Swisher was just caught out of position. Lex, though, great openings. He gets both the kills on the players who were looking towards his teammates, finds a triple kill as well. And even when they went in for the hunt to take down, I do believe the last play was was Swisher, or was it Spongy? I think it was Spongy on the side of Bad News Bears. They always have the contingency of Lex staying alive. P90 comes out. Well, okay. Okay then, Vince.
Yeah, not easy too often, and he's already just been wrecked through middle, down to 4 HP through the smoke, lucky to survive. And the P90 at this range, I mean, honestly, you should probably just throw Insult instead, Blair. I feel like it's going to do more damage.
I feel like it's just been punished for that fire. The nade's going to find Jojo, but at the same time, it is going to be Sluggy who gets a kill on the Swisher. Sluggy, aka Bradley Kohler, you can see on the right-hand side. Hopefully that should get fixed very quickly, but John G dealing quite a bit of damage with a Deeg. This is the force buy coming in, of course, for Bad News Bears. And also, you got to bear in mind, Junior has that scout to work with, Ben. So even if he doesn't get the kills, a couple of tags, and that's a nice throw. That's a nice one, Flom.
Yeah, just getting rid of the weapons, making sure that as few of the rifles as possible, also replenishing the ammunition as well, up to 28 bullets once again. And Mythic slowing it down, mainly as a result of losing the first player to the grenade with the finish off frag. Bad News Bears, additionally, sure, they've got pistols, but as you said, they've got the scout. There's plenty of firepower and only 40 seconds to go with. Running out of utility, 1 smoke and 2 flashes. So Mythic don't really have the luxury of re-engaging or throwing any kind of a fake. They have got to fully commit behind this. This is where the Deagles at range are going to be devastating, and all 4 of Bad News Bears have already congregated on A. This is looking a little bit bleak, but they forced the plant down. Damage done, and significant damage at that, as Lex and J-Dubs both fall below 50% HP. And on these weakened health fronts, this is where things could get so very tenuous. There are no kits between the remaining CT players, but they are so fast on the trigger that J-Dubs is going to keep this one alive. Tickling the bomb, our Bad News Bears sticking the bomb in actual fact, and they need to go out and deal with this, and Flom is nowhere to be seen. They're going for the full defuse, and it gets caught by John G. Bad News Bears forced by, and they're going to be successful.
That should never have happened. Oh, that should never have happened, Vince. They didn't even have a kit. They didn't even have a kit, and they had the perfect read, though, right? They get the kills, and then, yeah, man advantage. You don't keep anyone towards B. All 4 players congregating towards an A side. John G, though, 4K, and they had the read as well. They're all right. We know where one player is. We know there's a player. J-Dubs is playing from Palace, and I do believe it was Flom who didn't show himself at all towards the ramp. So they're like, yeah, he's definitely being a sneaky Rad, going to be coming in from connector. They had all the angles covered, and that is a huge round to win for Bad News Bears. But that has got to be gutting for Mythic, right? Like, you had all the weaponry, and sure, Flom was able to toss away the P90 and a Galil, but 2 Galils will still be retrieved by the side of Bad News Bears, and even an AK-47 as well. So you don't even need to replenish the weapons or, like, buy into this round, apart from John G with the M4. Spongy probably just considering what he wants to go for in this round. And for the side of Mythic, they are going to be taking a more controlled approach, not going for the full investment, just a few pistols and armor being purchased, keeping a little bit in the bank, but it's still quite a heavy investment.
Yeah, it is. That's a really good point to raise, because even into the next round, they're looking at a pretty grim purchase should they not get the bomb plant at bare minimum. So they're going to be getting up close and personal. They're not slowing down. They're picking up the pace, but the counter flashes could not be sweeter. As you see the entirety of Mythic covering their eyes, and they have now been closed permanently in round 3. Blinking, you'd have missed that one. The full buy, not really yielding anything in return.
It was a bit of a strange buy for me because they could have. Okay, here's the thing. Like, I mean, if they'd gone for the full purchase altogether, they would still had like around close to $2,000. Instead, they didn't really fully invest. It was more like, yeah, we're going to go for the pistols and armor. Yet we're going to be keeping a little bit of extra money in the bank, which in the end doesn't really matter all too much. Again, a few upgraded pistols, but that was a very clean round, as I pointed out, from BNB. This one should be a very comfortable one as well. I gotta say, the Mythic are playing a very fast version of Counter-Strike. I know these are eco rounds, but they're wasting no time just charging in towards mid, towards the A-side. Swisher needs to be a little careful. A couple of kills already taking place here, and he's got to stick around battling it against his Deagles, where the one headshot potential is very much a possibility. So I'm a little confused as to why he's continuing to take this fight. And Sluggy with a clinical shot and a Spongy, and all of a sudden, Vince, this was pretty much a full eco. It's a 2v2 now.
Yeah, that's a fantastic shot. Take nothing away at all from Sluggy. He's got 2 already. He's down to 37. And now they've picked up the M4. Over a minute left on the clock, and they still retain control over the bomb. And with Sluggy getting up close, if he got that frag going in his direction, this round would have quickly catapulted in Mythic's favor. Instead, though, it is Lex that will be coming through onto the site, has no idea as to Shake Zula's current position. He's heard him from a mile off, and the easiest of kills will follow up. Very nice effort from Mythic, but ultimately, Bad News Bears were just too good.
I guess Lex wasn't really expecting anyone towards the A side, but I'm a little confused. Like, he still had a lot of time to work. He could have taken his time. Maybe have gotten the bomb done, which would have afforded him a little bit of extra cash, but nonetheless, they're still going to be having enough money to go for the full purchase. AK-47 is going to be coming out, a lot of utility as well. And for the side of Bad News Bears, there's one player I want to be watching, and it has to be Junior with an AWP. And he has his hands on the big green zoom banger early on. And early aggression towards ramp, I like this. They're going to be aggressing towards ramp, and at the same time, keeping 3 players here towards the B side, 1 towards Cat. Of course, it's going to be Swisher. And this could be just the perfect counter to what Mythic seem to have planned here. They have J-Dubs looking towards Palace, but the remaining members just kind of posturing towards B apartments, not really committing though because of the early utility usage from the side of Bad News Bears. And Junior is going to open his account with his AWP first kill with the Zoom banger. He's going to be looking for more. Bear in mind, this is a buy round from Mythic, so apart from pissed around, like, this is the first chance I've had to really like convert. Of course, apart if you ignore round 2 ever happened, so losing a player very early on is going to be a bit problematic. Now, they have opted to kind of switch things around a little bit, just completely opting not to head towards B and slowly sneaking in towards A. But again, Vince, the rotations are so on point. Junior's going to be waiting towards A this time, and it's just picking them apart.
Yeah, and that's a really accurate depiction of how this round has come, as it will be solidified momentarily. The only real question is whether Flom can take a couple more players with him. There's not much time left either to pick up that bomb and run towards one of the sites. He is going to take down Shake Zula, but ultimately the round would already pretty much fallen into place. And it did feel like it was too easy for Junior. There was no real flashes coming in or smokes. He could stand up on the toll booth. No aggression as they had a player in the Palace, so he knew he wasn't going to get pushed in from ramp or Palace side. And from his perspective, I mean, it was shooting fish in a barrel. And I mean, no disrespect at all to Mythic here, but they're not necessarily a team that you look at and you think, right, these guys are strategically, masterminds. I feel like there is a certain puggy aspect of Mythic, and that's typically where they prevail. And we've already seen that happen a few times on this T side already.
For sure. And considering it is the map, oh my lord, John G. Yeah, let's just ignore that never happened. Yeah, that never happened. It's a 4v4. It's fine. But jokes aside, I have to agree. Like, yeah, this is a map pick, right? It's Mirage. It's a map which does allow you to go for some of the more puggier approaches. But then, Bad News Bears. I mean, sure, like we did have Wolfie point out on the desk as well that they kind of got clobbered in EU. But, the competition they faced there was of a much higher caliber than what they're going to be facing here in DreamHack Open NA. But Flom getting a nice trade, and suddenly the pressure's on Shake Zula in the corner. He's going to be checked. No, he's not. He's going to find, no, just the one, and J-Dub's getting the kill. That could potentially allow the bomb plant, but Junior has found his way into the site. Deagle out. I don't think he's been spotted out, has he? fake. Okay, Junior is not going to fall for it. Decapitates J-Dubs and Flom left alone in a 1v2 and only 17 points of health. It is doable, but Junior is going to deny him, and that's going to be a pretty expensive round, all things considered. It was just a few upgraded pistols coming out from Mythic and get to take away 3 guns, meaning that, well, never mind. I thought they'd do make a little bit of a dent in the economy of Bad News Basements, but they have money. Oh, they have a lot of money to work with.
Yeah, because the last few rounds have been fairly straightforward, right? They've lost 1 or 2 players at most. They've been able to keep their hands on the AWP as well for Junior. So, sure, that is a fairly costly round, all things considered. But considering it is a 5-1 lead and Mythic have only really posed a threat, winning the pistol, then instantly losing that second round, I think Bad News Bears feel very confident. The smokes won't be deterring Junior too much. You can still peer up towards the top of middle. And Mythic aren't really interested in this area. This is typically where they've had a lot of presence already in the map. Obviously, Mirage is synonymous for middle control, but they've been shut down early on. Once these smokes begin to clear, though, maybe Mythic will have a second go at it. But this is where they know that players like Junior will be in position, eagle-eyed, watching, and you better believe they are very respectful of Junior's prowess. So here comes the smoke in towards the window area. Junior spots Sluggy and takes his arm clean off. Down to 47, he will fall.
I don't know how he's going to operate that AK-47 with a one arm, Vince. It's not an easy rifle to wield. And he was very lucky to stay alive there. He was so very fortunate. Tagged on at 47 HP. Jonji is going to be flushed out from the position. He's going to swing wide, and the flashbang is so good from his teammates that he not just gets the kill, but he's got time, but he stays alive as well. Smoke being helped out by his teammate, that is Swisher, with a life-saving smoke to extinguish the flames. Now, this A site, they have Jojo, who's made his way towards stairs. If you can find a pick, look at Jonji's position. Jonji has no idea, but neither does Jojo. And Jonji's going to find him. That could be the round right there.
Yeah, it feels like it. Look at the time, 25 seconds. They're Molotoving out. They're really choking Mythic out of this round, and the constriction continues as Junior wraps that AWP around the throat of Flom, puts him down. The bomb's been dropped. Good counter flash. This baby steps towards the site, and Junior will be disappointed he didn't connect that shot. Look close to hitting center mass. But the time itself will be the final boss of this round for Mythic. They may be able to save onto this AWP. Spongy feels compelled to go for this. Try and deny the AWP. Try and deal some more damage, but J-Dub stands his ground. It won't make a difference towards the overall round score, but it will give Mythic a little bit more to play with here as they call their tactical timeout.
All right, this is just ridiculous. The timing of the flash and Sluggy is just so unfortunate. And if Jojo, if he found a kill there, he could have easily got a couple of kills from that position. That would have completely opened up that A side, but just unfortunate timing. Bad form Bears. BNB have won 14 out of 20 Mirage games, but lost 4 off the last 5. It's looking much better here, though, Vince.
Oh, undoubtedly. I'm quite curious to see what matches that would have been. Yeah, was that when they went across the EU? Is that counting some of those games, perhaps? I'm not sure.
I'm taking a look here. Okay, so Mirage, they lost to Party Astronauts 14-16. They got smacked by Heroic 16-1, and they lost to Triumph as well earlier. So, and this is all in the month of August, mind you. And to Triton. Actually, no, they beat Triton. Never mind. So, yeah, it's a mixed bag.
So far, it's been looking pretty solid. You know, a lot of teams will learn a lot from losses, where they can iron over the cracks and the armor where it is weak. And Junior, not for the first time, getting an opportunity, but misses out. Doesn't even connect the leg shot. Jonji with a pop flash in for the peak, but doesn't overstay his welcome. Still gets shut down, though, from J-Dubs, but there's the counteractive kill. Junior makes sure that Mythic do not run away with this round. 4-play-4.
All right, my ping is just spiking all over the place. Hopefully, things should be back here, Vince. But the game is kind of frozen for me. Oh, never mind. It's back. J-Dubs. I just completely froze there for a moment.
Oh, hopefully that's all good for you then, Blair. Meanwhile, though, Junior's making sure that he puts that up to use. Will do. Give me a shout when you get back, dude. Junior in the meanwhile, though, another frag, this time repositioning towards the back of the toll booth. And Lex in the meanwhile getting aggressive with his AK, but he is the last man standing. He just joined us. Mythic won the pistol, and they have lost the subsequent 7 rounds after it, getting pretty much dismantled, if I'm being completely honest. Not too many of these rounds have got close. Time itself has been a real adversary, and Junior, who is just seemingly omnipresent on Mirage right now, is constantly striking and constantly dismantling Mythic where they stand. A P90 again for Jojo. We've seen him already pick up one of these in that second round. They did lose. It was a tack through middle and then finished off by the grenade behind the middle boxes. And Junior getting aggressive, does connect the shot, I believe, onto Sluggy. I'm not sure he only lost 25 HP, though. Must have been in his little toe. And Jojo puts the P90 to use, just rushes straight through connector. He's got himself two as well. Finally making amends and proving that this gun in the right hands can be a terror. Looking for more. Grenade banks off the wall, picks up more. Could be going in for a 4K. And he's spraying everybody out of their boots. They needed a huge play, and Jojo is the man to deliver with a P90 of all weapons, and he's not done just yet. He could go in for more. Here is the replay from his perspective as he shuts down the two players, but he wants the ace. Junior round the corner, gets dinked by Jojo, but does survive and denies the ace. However, this round is over, and J-Dubs will finalize it. So Mythic's first in 7.
It took a while. It took a while, but they seem to finally crack the puzzle. This is an interesting round, and Jojo seems to be very committed to the P90 play. 2 kills in that round. Actually, 3, never mind. So, yeah, I'm just going to shut my mouth about a P90 not being a viable weapon in the T-side of Mirage, Vince. What the hell do I know?
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of data out there which would back you up. But now and again, you do see this just crazy, audacious play, and it works out. But whether Jojo runs and repeats that again in the future rounds is yet to be seen. What we do know, though, is Spongy will return the favor with some aggression. It's that man, Jojo, that's on the receiving end.
The worrying thing for me is Junior's 13-4, Vince. 9 rounds in. He's having a hell of a time here in Mirage, and that's the issue, right? You pick a map like Mirage, you're like, we're a puggish team. This is a map that we should be much more comfortable on, and maybe we can potentially get the upset here against the Bad News Bears. And Spongy's looking for more, finds another one. Finally, he will be put down. Junior, very much aware. He still seems to be paranoid. There might be a player coming out from Palace. But Jonji now, his turn to shine. You can hear all this information being gathered, and it is going to be Lex with a clean shot, and suddenly, Vince, from a 5v3, it's a 3v3. Lex going to punch in the numbers. Bomb's going to go down before Shake's going to be able to make his way towards CD spawn, and now the retake is going to be on. They, of course, have a lot of time to work with due to CTs, but they need to find the kills.
They don't have any incendiaries, though. That could be a problem. Dealing with a couple of these angles, albeit Sluggy's on low HP. One of their 2 flashes has now just been utilized. One more in the hands of Shake Zula. Good spray with the AUG. Yields the first, and now they know a second player is in Sandwich. It's all about that last element. Has now been spotted. They know exactly where J-Dubs is, and the second that Sluggy dies, he is living on borrowed time. There will be enough time for the defuse, and Bad News Bears make sure that Mythic do not string 2 together. Post-plant will afford them a few options here, but Bad News Bears continue to shine. And keep in mind as well, Blair, unless I'm mistaken, this was the choice of Mythic. They picked Mirage.
Yeah, you can see it on the top right corner. Mythic pick Mirage, and this is just some unbridled aggression from Spongy, right? Even a second peek, just dry swinging, dry walking out towards ramp. And he gets away with 2 kills, one towards Palace, one towards ramp. That should never be taking place. And I kind of feel like it's VNV starting to flex a little bit, right? Trying to show that, hey, listen, you guys want to play an aggressive game, we can do the same as well. A lot of utility being deployed by Mythic towards mid. Swisher spots the player out up close towards Connector, and it's going to be Jojo with a P90. Unfortunately for all P90 aficionados out there, it will not sting this time around, as Swisher getting maybe a little too over-eager, peering out, hoping that a flash round from his teammates would afford him a kill, but Flom, waiting patiently, will snipe him down. Jonji is blinded completely. He sticks around, and Sluggy's going to punish him for it. Junior now having to deliver, AWP in hand. They know where he is, and J-Dub's gonna find him, but Spongy's still there as a contingency, and as long as he stays alive in his ramp area, Vince, this retake is very much doable.
Exactly. That's 100% accurate. And because they don't know that Sheikh Zula is also rotating through on the CT side, they have got to respect CT. They've got to respect Connector. There's a smoke down, but that's now dwindled. So they may feel compelled to go in for this. That plays into the hands of Spongy, but he comes out second. Best Lex survives on 3 HP, but Sheikh Zula, he He is using this position to perfection. He spots both players. This is done. Sheikh Zula with a masterful snake-like flank, and he will get the rewards with yet another round.
Absolutely no emotions whatsoever, Vince. And there was no way Mythic we're gonna be expecting Sheikh Zula to be coming in from ramp right after they took care of his teammate there. And yeah, just plays it to perfection, right? He knows where Lex is. He can see him, and it's like, okay, where's the second guy? Finds Flom, and just great trigger discipline, great priority on who to take down first as well. He knew Lex was kind of low because of his teammate, and yeah, again, close but no cigar for the side of Mythic. They get the bomb down, as I pointed out. Just players staying alive towards the ramp area made the retake very, very doable indeed. Another fast-placed hit coming in towards mid, but this time it's going to be towards B. Unfortunately, Vince, they might be walking into the Lion's Den. There are 3 players lying in wait, and Jojo, before the flames eat him alive, it is going to be Junior with his AWP. Is going to find one. The nade's going to deal quite a lot of damage on the Sluggy as well, and Sluggy, I'm sure he hurts Swisher just getting tagged by the flames, Vince.
Oh yeah, it's just a bloodbath, isn't it? I think he was maybe preoccupied with connector and window because the smokes were starting to fade. But bad news bears, what I love about this play as well, you said before maybe getting a bit disrespectful, but there's also an element of this just crazy controlled aggression. It's like they are not scared to go out and get dirty, like get that dirty boxing in effect, but they're picking what time, what date, and where it's happening. Like they always seem in control of all of these rounds. And Mythic, we've seen a couple of explosive ideas from Jojo with his P90, but by and large, this has looked a bit uninspired on their T side. I've got to be honest, like they've just been getting bullied around here.
Vince, like that was a buy round, and the round ended in 1 minute and 28 seconds left on the clock. Like this is probably one of the fastest games of Mirage I have ever witnessed. That's kind of mental. Well, at least they're able to take down Swisher, and they maintain that man advantage. Now, there's just this hero AK-47 in the hands of Flom now. He's got that Kevlar to work with. Jojo with the scout, and Deegs on everyone else. J-Dub's probably going to be the sacrificial goat on this, but they might be walking in once more into the beast that is Junior. AWP trained in their position, and even if they manage to take him down, they have to contend with Sheikh Zula waiting towards Archer. And Junior, he's not missing anything. He doesn't need any help, Vince. And Sheikh Zula's turn now to shine. He knows where they're going to be coming in from. He's going to find one, spots both the players, and the jig is definitely up. And Junior with... Oh, what a flick there to find Jojo. A little bit of overkill, but Sluggy replies back. And now it's a 1v2. This is doable. This is very doable. The Spongy's kind of low. The bomb is dropped in a very awkward spot. He picks it up. He gets the kill. But John G will finally put him down. That round got too close for comfort, if I'm Bad News Bears.
Oh, 100%. But this is where the issue is that we've only seen glimpses, just moments from the individual talent that we know that Mythic have. Great shot from from Junior, pardon me, onto Jojo. And that really was one of those rounds where Mythic would love to come back in and think, okay, we did loads of damage, right? They're going to be on weakened purchases. They're going to have a couple of maybe FAMASs or pistols. Nope. Because of how one-sided this half has been, they go straight back into a full arsenal of weaponry. They're good to go. And J-Dubs has already been obliterated down to 22 HP in the first few moments. Lex has been finished off in underpass. One of the first times that we've seen the CTs actually aggressively push down here, so it caught him completely off guard.
I feel like Bad News Bears have pretty much done almost every variation of an aggressive CT play in a Mirage so far. It's ridiculous. As Junior biding his time trying to line up the perfect shot, he will not find the player. But, oh, another miss coming in. And John-G's been found towards I believe he got taken out with connector as well. Suddenly things looking a little tricky here. Bad News Bears is providing 1v1 fights against Mythic, and the AK-47s is singing out loud. Jojo getting the second kill, and suddenly it is favoring Mythic here, but barely. J-Dubs and 22 HP, as I pointed out earlier, Vin. Just one bullet on his little toe and he's going to be done for. On his A site, they are pretty much telegraphing their intentions. And look at the flank. Look at Sheikh Zula again pushing in like a snake from behind. Is already making his way towards T-spawn. So they need to take the site now. They need to take the fight. Jojo's creeping on in. Junior is trying to bait out a shot. Spongy though, spamming through the smoke. He's been spotted by Jojo, just spamming blindly through the smoke. And this time they're going to be ready for Sheikh, but he is going to be spotted, but does get the kill.
Oh, this is great as well. Repositions has full faith in these two teammates who nailed it, Blair. He needed these two components to survive. A flank is only as good as the foundations that you can pivot off, and this foundation has been rock solid. Sheikh Zula is still the snake in the grass. Is causing so much mayhem and disruption, but time is starting to get down low. Flom should be getting that kill, and that can cost his team the round. An incendiary down towards the bomb. There's no smoke to defuse this one, and time is so low that Sluggy can finalize this round and gets it done by the skin of their teeth. But Mythic have picked up a third.
I think if he didn't get the kill with an AK, I think they might have got the defuse, because the Molotov was a little deep. I don't think it spread enough, so they could have potentially got the defuse. But yeah, Sluggy coming up huge there. Oh, okay, round number 3, Vince. It took everything for them to get the round, but they do. And I gotta say, they punish Bad News Bears for some of those peaks, some of the aggressive stances they were taking. And I can't really blame Bad News Bears either, right? They're really feeling it. They're just aggressing and winning all the fights. But coming to the final round of the first half, the money has been kind of broken. But Swisher and Junior, they have the M4 and the WP to wheel, and Shake Zilla with the MP9 up close and personal. This could get messy for Mythic.
This could be a slaughter. You'd assume with this kind of a smoke that they at least anticipate this is a possibility, but it's always the issue when you come out of this smoke, you're looking towards the van. On the balcony as well. Good check from Sluggy. Make sure Shake Zule's MP9 will not perforate anybody, but the hold from Swisher is so good. To pick up 2 in that spot is massive and gives his team a real chance. Switching across the weapons, nearly gets punished with his life. 1-for-1 trade out. Already 3 on the board for Sluggy, who has been the standout player for Mythic. Already dropping 15 frags, and he could go 2 better, but Flom takes the first away. Junior, on 18 of his own kills, could be hitting the 20 bomb come the second half if he can clutch this one out. Plenty of utility for Sluggy though, and Junior now finding out that the bomb is planted the other side of the site. Trading up to the AK-47, needs to get this kill so quickly. Oh, the time was brutal, but Junior whiffs the spray, and he gets punished and fragged. That's gonna do it for the first half, ladies and gents. Find out if Bad News Bears can convert after this short break. a roller coaster of a first half on Mirage saw Mythic win the first and the last round, but most of the middle portion being dominated by Bad News Bears. 11-4 lead, Blair. They were the favorites coming into this map, and I think we saw a lot of reasons as to why that was the case.
Yeah, just the aggression seems to be a little one-dimensional, if I may be a little rude, right? It's like, all right, we're just gonna go for a fast take towards speed. I didn't really see too many defaults coming in. They didn't really punish Mythic for their aggression, but anyway, 4 rounds, CD side. Let's see what they have in store for us here. It's gonna be Jadabs making contact and needs to land those shots. Instead, it's gonna be tagged down to 3 HP Junior. Decapitates Lex as well. Look at Swisher pushing in so very deep, but Jojo's at least able to reply back by finding 2, even though he's been tagged in turn to 18 HP. But a bomb's been planted, Vince, and despite having a man advantage and a kit, they need to find a couple of kills real quick.
Oh, they do. Man advantage, but they're actually below in terms of HP, and I just got a little bit worse as Flom, one of the healthy members, has been dealt with. A lot of damage now on the return, however, but Spongy putting those bullets down range, and it leaves J-Dubs on a measly 3 HP to try and clutch this 1 bullet through the smoke, and he's a goner. He's sticking onto that defuse, and Spongy says, nah, no bullets, just blades, and gives him a shank. So they won't be getting both pistols, and that's going to hurt Mythic's bottom line come the end of this round. You have to feel, do they go in for a force here, Blair? Do they feel that desperate already?
That's really hard to call, honestly, isn't it? Like, I'd say you don't force it up, or might as well. Who knows? Who cares? Like, maybe it's going to work out. The lack of P90, though, is going to definitely hurt the chances. I feel like Jojo makes that gun viable. Just so impressive, but anything could happen, Vince. Switcher was going to find Jojo out in the open, jumping. Wasn't expecting that aggression from the T's early towards top mid, and the Mag-10 is going to come out on top. I don't think he even had a chance to fire off a single bullet from that scout of his, which is so unfortunate. They have, however, stacked 3 places of A side. Now, if Flom can land a couple of tags and spot a player, that's a nice tag to find. He's looking for more as well. A second tag could be huge here. In fact, he's going to find a tag on the head of Spongy, but Swisher and Junior reply back. Lex hasn't been checked. There's no one in Palace, so he could play spoiled sport, but there is a player holding that angle, watching his position. It's going to be Junior with an AK-47 of his, and it looks like whatever little slim chance they had of potentially getting the round is kind of falling apart here, Vince, and I'm not really fancying the chances here. Unless Sluggy pulls off something truly ridiculous with the deagle of his.
Yeah, it was never looking likely, was it? I mean, Lex has been sat in this possession in Palace for pretty much the entire round, and when Flom went down, I thought he was maybe going to peek in and try and shut down a couple players behind, but I think he was waiting for Swisher to get in position and try and do something special. Is at least going to maybe bait a couple players back into the blast radius of the bomb, and Swisher will die to it. So in that case, it is successful, but considering that was a force buy, that's not really good enough for Mythic. You're now looking to probably concede this round, and at that point, it's going to be a 10-round deficit, and Bad News Bears just 2 rounds shy of the victory. So they will be kind of feeling their way with a few deagles, but it's looking really bleak at this stage, Blair.
It is, and we're going into Nuke after this. That's Bad News Bears stomping grounds. It's their map pick. It's a map where I'd say like 9 out of 10 times Bad News Bears should be winning, especially against, you know, a team like Mythic, who are more well known and famous for being a bit of a pug team. Which I'm not hating on them. I mean, that's what they are, right? And one thing I do have to give respect to these guys, like how Flom and Lex and all these guys, you know, they try and find some of these newer names at NA scene, bring them up, you know, just qualify for some of the bigger leagues, and potentially they get picked up by some of the bigger orgs out there in NA. And I feel like if that's their ambition, that's their aim, I think they're doing a very good job anyway. So J-Dub's able to at least find Swisher. That's an important kill to find. It's a full stack towards the A site, and they even have Lex who's pushed in towards Palace, but looks like a jig is up here. It's going to be Junior keeping the rotation at bay, cutting it off. Shake Zork might be taken down here. He's not aware of Lex's position, so an AK-47 will be retrieved, and if I'm Mythic, I'm holding on to that.
Oh, well, now that they've got another couple of kills here, maybe they go in for the jugular and they try and outright win this. The downside is that J-Dubs has been sent packing to play 2, but Lex does have that aforementioned AK. Lack of Kevlar between the two of them, I think, does give them pause for thought. I don't think they'll go in for it now. I think you're on the money, Blair. They want to hold on to this. Jojo may be getting up close with the MAC-10. He'll have a rifle in the next round regardless. That is an expendable weapon. You don't necessarily care about the MAC-10. If he has Kevlar, I think he absolutely just backs away. They pull the plug. They go into the darkest corner they can find in the map and close their eyes and cross their fingers and hope for the best. But Jojo is going to be going in here, looking for the frag. May not get it onto Spongy, but he could go down to the bomb. This is going to be really close. More importantly, though, a rifle has been taken for Jojo as Spongy just about survives. Now, we're really trying to get optimistic here, Blair, and looking at the small positives that Mythic have, but you look at the overarching picture, it still paints a very dark message as Bad News Bears are head and shoulders above their adversaries.
Jojo does go on some pretty bizarre adventures on the map, I've noticed. He just, he's a man of his own. P90 going for that late steal on the Galil. Sure, you know, it's a Galil, but it's still a free gun considering how dire the economic situation is for his team. Double op setup coming out early on, and this is pretty much do or die. Then they lose this, it's going to be a map point for Bad News Bears. They're going to have 11 map points to work with, and they're going to, it's just not going to get any easier. So if you want to mount a comeback here, it's about stringing a couple of rounds together, bringing the money for Bad News Bears, and just taking it one round at a time. Is it impossible? It's not. Is it improbable? Kind of is. I have to be real here. But they have shown that a few of these players, they do have individual prowess to make things work. A whiffed shot from Flom. The Flom's not been really feeling it today here so far. With the smoke fading away, he might find a kill, and that's a great kill on the Swisher. Lex finding Spongy as well. And Shakezilla does reply back. However, they are walking into an A site where the remaining CDs are slowly but surely congregating towards. They know it's not going to be a B hit. The telegraph has been very obvious so far from the side of Bad News Bears, and Junji getting shot twice with the AWP will be put to the grave.
They've been wounded multiple times on their approach as well. Shakezula's down to 46. Still in with a shot though. 40 seconds. They're in no great rush. The lack of utility is a concern because they'd like to try and cordon off either stairs, jungle, or CT boxes, and this will leave them vulnerable. And they're ripe for the picking. Flom finally showing us what he's capable of doing. We know the guy can be a great AWPer in his own right, but as you correctly said, he's had a bit of a slow start. That was, I would say, the limit there, Mythic. It's not just stringing a few rounds together. They've got to get it done consistently and really cleanly as well, player, because if you're losing 3 or 4 players in the grand scheme of things, eventually you're going to start to lose an AWP here, a rifle there, maybe a couple grenades in a player, and that could be the moment that costs you the game. Absolutely. Even if you, as you correctly pointed out, you know, it's about not just winning the rounds, but making sure that in a round where you get strong like 4 together, but ever been in a situation where your buy has been compromised because of some poor decision making. Flom able to tag Shakezilla down to 37 HP. This is just a light investment coming in from Bad News Bears, and I respect and like the fact that they haven't gone for the full force buy investment. Jojo with a nice pick on a Swisher. Should find the second. No? Oh, he's still sticking around. I'm not a fan of this, Jojo. I'm not a fan of that particular adventure, and he's going to be found by Junior. Why was he sticking around? I'm not too sure. It deals a lot of damage, Vince. But as you pointed out, unnecessary deaths in a position where if he gets taken down, it's untradeable. But at least he dies in a position where the AWP cannot be retrieved, but it's still a 3v3. And now, sure, Shakezilla, he's the walking wounded. Junior's internally hemorrhaging as well. But you take away a couple more guns here from the side of Mythic, and then things get complicated for the side of Mythic, because it's going to be 14 and 6, sure, but Bad News Bears will have the buy, and for Mythic, they might have to do it maybe one AWP instead of double they've been wielding so far, maybe a FAMAS instead of an AUG or an AK-47, so they want to win this particular round, whatever time they have remaining here, in a very, very clean fashion, and it looks like Bad News Bears are going to give it to them. They're not really giving any opportunities for these Deagles to find any easy kill. Lex is going to make sure that nothing goes wrong. It's all in Spongy, and I do believe his oh yeah, he's about to get collected without any doubt. Wants to die before time, of course, to get the round loss, and which is indeed what has happened, and that's much better for Mythic. Whereas they lost a couple too many players, I'd say, in the previous round. This time only one. Yes, it definitely was a clenched moment for Mythic collectively. If he'd have died earlier than that, maybe an AWP trades hands, things start to get really scary. But that was a really solid round. And now we're seeing Bad News Bears. I like that they're not going to go all in with all 5 players. They've got enough 2 hero buys with Spongy and Sheikh Zula, but 3 other players across the board that can get a purchase in next round. Tons of utility though, Blair, for an execute if they want to go in for it. But judging from a few of these positions, it doesn't look like they're fully going to invest behind this if they do throw out the grenades. This is more about getting a bit of mid control with Swisher, maybe trying to knock them out of their element. Molotov's gone down into connector, but doesn't really affect J-Dubs because the smoke was already placed down.
Oh, that's a ton of utility being deployed, as I pointed out, Vincent. I believe they might just get the bomb down here. Mythic are okay just giving up the site. Yeah, sure, get the bomb down, just play retake. They're making sure there's no one sneaking around towards mid. Swisher, top of mid, hasn't shown himself yet. They're just going to be spamming blindly through the smoke. J-Dubs finds Swisher, who is looking towards top mid, so that's a good pick to find, and have dealt so much of damage on his Spongy and Junior. So yeah, Vince, as you said, bomb is going to be planted, but I don't think this is a post plant that Bad News Bears are going to be able to really make work.
Yeah, with the plant, those 2 players that went in for purchase can afford again. So I think Bad News Bears will be fairly content to just pull the plug here and save on a couple players. Like you can see Spongy wants to hold on to this Galil. Junior has nothing at all, just a Glock. So he's going to be posted up close. And Mythic now realizing what's come to fruition. So that was more of an economy building moment, really, for Bad News Bears. They know they have a vast lead. They don't have to take too many risks. They don't have to go to desperation mode just yet. They got plenty of time allocated to them. But Mythic will be relatively happy with the outcome as well. Their money's starting to build nicely here. And we're starting to see the beginnings of a potential comeback. I'm still not a believer of myself, Blair, but we're starting to see the first couple of moments of where maybe something special is about to take shape.
Starting to sound like a believer, Vince, and I do worry for you. We do have the double upset coming in play here. I like that play, like you pointed out. It's a economy builder. They knew they had a Galil and the AK-47, and since the bomb was planted, they're going to be having bonus money anyway. And they knew exactly where Flom was. A player just hopping across, which was Sheikh Zula. He's like, there's a player waiting for you guys down towards mid, and he will be found. But at least a trade does take place. But never mind, John G able to snatch it back by finding J-Dubs, and all of a sudden, things looking a bit grim here for Mythic. They have the weaponry. They don't really have the players. A huge find from Jojo would be massive, but no. He legs Junior down to 4 HP, but he will be down to 0, Vince. It's a 2v4 here, and Sluggy and Lex have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, the bomb's been planted the wrong side of the site as far as Lex is concerned, and although he heroically puts up a last stand and trades 1 for 1 and gives Sluggy a chance, and keep in mind, Sluggy in that first half ended so well with a massive round, but his aim has let him down a little bit there against John G on the cross. This is always the issue with being a vast amount of rounds behind. You can play 3 or 4 really solid rounds. The second that you get found out and punished, well, everything comes crumbling down. 8 map points now on the side of Bad News Bears.
Yeah, things have... That's also what happens when you have an 11-4 scoreline in the first half, Vince. You lose a pistol as well, and then, you know, you don't really have a margin of error to work with, right? Sure, you string a few rounds together. Sure, you have the weaponry, but one little bad round in Junior, he can't do it to them like this. It's 15-7 already, and he's still playing lights out, Vince. He's looking for more, but Flom, in the meantime, able to at least find John G. Flom, if he peeks here, Junior's going to get his 30th kill in round number 23. So you did raise the question whether, you know, this game could potentially be close. Maybe Bad News Bear is going to be starting off a little cold, but Junior's been starting off. He's just all guns a-blazing. 1 away from a 30 bomb, and he could potentially get this, Vince, before we close out the game.
Yeah, there's always those first day jitters, you know, for a lot of teams, and that narrative does creep in. But yeah, I think you have to emphatically say that Bad News Bears certainly not slow starters here, and it's been their key men that have really shone bright. Not that there's been any weak players on their team, to be completely honest. Obviously, Junior's going to get a lot of the plaudits, but whenever other players have been required, they've stepped up. He's just been everywhere. His CT performance, he seemingly like got kills in every single position on the map multiple times over. Now, perhaps Mythic can put us into a 24th round. They've got the first frag in this 4-on-4. That's going to force Jojo away, however, and that reposition could cost them everything. Sluggy now goes under way more fire, but he stands his ground with 2, and there is Jojo on the cross. So, Mythic not done just yet, but they need to save another 7 in a row.
I thought that would have been it. Like, Jojo was scoped in. The moment they get a kill on a junior, they're like, oh, it's going to be an A hit. And he immediately just spins around. And that's the timing for Bad News Bears to make their way into the B side. But fortunately for them, Sluggy more than enough to get the double kill there. Of course, ably helped out in the end by Jojo. But yeah, 15 and 8. It's been done before, 7 in a row. It's doable, but for how long can they hold on the cling on to the precipice events? It's not going to be easy. All of the Bad News Bears, it's going to be a light buy once more. I do like how they've been very measured in their economy game. Our Bad News Bears, right? They're showing quite a lot of discipline despite the gargantuan lead they have with Mythic, and I feel like that's something we talk about quite a bit when it comes to, like, you know, lower tiers of Counter-Strike, when it comes to like tier 2 scene, so to speak. You have these games where you go for weird decisions and weird plays, and it just builds just bad habits overall, right? And then suddenly you play against a team of an equal caliber, maybe even a higher caliber, and those bad habits come and bite you in the butt. And maybe, you know, and that is something which I feel a lot of teams could potentially avoid. I'm talking about some of the more lesser known scenes, some teams playing in the tier 2 region. And Bad News Bears are aware that they're one of the favorites in this tournament, and yet they have other teams they have to contend against, Extra Salt being one of them. We have Pain Gaming as well, even Team 1. These are teams who can definitely take on Bad News Bears. So the fact that they are exercising quite a bit of restraint, giving respect to their opposition, I feel is a good sign from them. But then again, like, you go back to the Mirage CD side, the sheer aggression coming from Bad News Bears was really a joy to witness.
Oh, it was, absolutely. And I think we've seen different facets of Bad News Bears. You know, we expected them to be more methodical and more strategically adept. I don't think that's an unfair assessment. Mythic aren't necessarily known for having those components. They've got a lot of individual talent, but when it comes to their T side, sometimes it is a little bit lackluster, and I think that's what we saw. The Bad News Bears really punished them. Their CT side, they weren't afraid to get aggressive. They weren't afraid to take the fight to Mythic by any stretch. And as you said, they are one of the favorites. I think they're in the top 3. I think you probably look at, you know, obviously Extra Salt, as you just mentioned. Pain is another team that I think definitely has a fair amount of people on that hype train. And then you probably come down with Bad News Bears. Fortunately, I think we're about ready to get underway again. There was a bit of a tech issue, but we've had the match medic come in, and we will be able to rejoin the action very shortly indeed. Keep in mind as well, though, what's up for the grabs for winning this tournament. You get $35,000 for first place and a spot in the EPL Season 5 conference. So there is a lot to play with, and 100 points for the Pro Tour circuit as well. So this would be a huge win, a huge W for whoever can pick this one up. And Bad News Bears, if they want to catapult themselves towards the very top end of NA, these are the kind of tournaments that you have to win. These are the kind of events that you've got to stamp your authority and show the world what you're capable of doing.
Absolutely. And I feel that's where Extra Salt have done a fantastic job in the past few DreamHack Opens, right? I believe they are the back-to-back DreamHack Open NA defending champs. I think they won both the previous 2 NA DreamHack Opens. So, and the fact that, you know, when you make a statement like that, it not just, you know, you earn your opponent's respect as well, but also people start looking up to you and like, all right, let's see what damage these guys can do, you know, against some of the better teams out there, and you get more opportunities as well. So absolutely, like, you have an event like this, you don't really want to let go of any opportunity. Jojo, being a little bit of a monkey with the AWP, should find an easy pick on the John G. He doesn't seem to be aware of Sheikh Zula's position though, and Sheikh Zula's going to find an easy, he's making so much noise, but Jojo so focused on his crosshair doesn't hear Sheikh Zula, and that's an easy tap for him, and an AWP drop towards Catwalk. Now retrieving that is going to be a problem. But look at the remaining members of Bad News Bears. They're just walking in contact towards the A side from ramp. Lex finds the first, and backup is arriving.
Love that from Lex as well. To have the clarity not to overpeak and potentially get traded 1-for-1, but to stay alive in shadow. It's such a key choke point on this side of the map. That's just pure experience coming through, allowing his teammates now to twist the knife. Yes, it was a grim start, but Mythic have recovered. They're going to be able to pick up that up as well through middle. They're going to retrieve that right now, so they're going to have Flom with one of his own. Actually, they may not have got the secondary orb, so whether they want to repurchase that and replenish that is yet to be seen. Indeed, they do. That's going to cost them a little bit, but that was effectively an eco round from Bad News Bears. They still have 6 cracks at this, and this round will include an AWP in the hands of Junior, who's been prolific so far, and 4 assault rifles behind it. They have done what we
said they need to do if they want to mount this comeback, right, Vince? They've won the rounds, they need to win. Apart from the one hiccup, which allowed the Bad News Bears to get to map point, they've managed to ensure that economy is stable. They have the 2 AKs in the hands of Sluggy and Lex as well. The double op setup is still very much in place. So they've done everything. Now it's just taking it one round at a time. It's going to be a hit coming in towards B, and Sluggy, though, completely blinded, caught out by Swisher. Sheikh Zula finds a second, and Vince, this looks like the beginning of the end. Lex having to do everything, charging in, finds a planter. Sheikh Zula and Swisher will both fall, and suddenly now it's a 3v3, and make that a 2v2 as J-Dubs joins the fray. But John G sneaking in from behind, he could ruin everything. J-Dubs completely unaware of his position, and this could be it.
Yeah, this is looking like the final nail being put into the coffin, and it will read bad.